Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is titled, They Secretly Like You, but Can't Bring Themselves to Show It. So, guess what? We're going to expose their feelings. Yeah, we're going to find out. Now, I'm going to tell you who this person is, what they feel, why they are acting the way they are, and I'm not leaving anything out. By the time we're done with this reading, you're going to understand exactly what's going on. No guessing, no confusion, no mixed signals. But real quick, because a lot of y'all have been asking, and I've decided to keep my 3 for $33 reading open for a limited time. You can ask any 3 questions for just $33 about this person, a new relationship, your career, your finances, or if you just need grounded life coaching, I'm here for you. There are things that I can't fully say on YouTube, but I can go much deeper in a personal reading. The link is in the description. All right, so let's get straight into it. You have 3 cards here on the table. Take a breath, don't overthink it, and let yourself be pulled. Card 1 is a teal blue glass crystal. The card is listen. Card 2, yellow glass crystal. The card is go with the flow. And card 3 is the tangerine glass crystal. And the card says overcome obstacles. Whichever pile calmly draws you in, that's your message. All right, let's get into it. Clarity family, welcome to your reading. Pile 1. Listen, you didn't find this by accident. This person secretly likes you, but they have a hard time showing their feelings, and I'm about to tell you exactly why. By the end of this reading, you're not going to be confused about their silence, their mixed signals, or why it feels like something is there but never said. Everything is about to make sense. And real quick, again, if at any point during this reading you feel like, yeah, this is my situation, that 3 for $33 personal reading is still there for a limited time. A lot of y'all have been asking me to keep it open, and I said I will, but it's for a limited time. Now, I can go deeper, more specific, and talk freely without holding back. So if you want to ask me about this person, a new relationship, your career, your finances, or if you just need grounded life coaching, I got you. The link is in the description. All right, so pile 1, your energy here is with the listen card and of course the teal blue glass crystal. And this card tells me something immediately, that this person likes the way you see things. You are observant, you're intuitive, you pick up on what's not being said. And that right there, that's exactly why they are intimidated. Because they like you, but they're scared you already know too much. Now listen, you have 6 more cards to go in this pile. And each card is going to peel back a layer. Their emotions, their fear, their silence, and what they're actually doing about it. And once we get through all 6, I'm going to give you the total energetic frequency, which tells us whether this connection deepens or fades out. So let's do it. And let's go ahead and pull card 1. This card is going to tell us what they feel, but don't say out loud. Okay? So let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? What's coming through? You have the Anima Mundi, and that's spelled Animamundi. Okay. I'm going to explain to you exactly what that means, and it's very interesting that this card would come out first. But let's go ahead and pull your second card, And then we'll channel both energies together. Right. Let's see. Okay, you have, this card says Stardust Falls. And the card says the heart rises, receive. This represents the third eye chakra, the song of indigo. Okay, let's go ahead and tap into the energy of your first card. And then we will channel the energy of the Stardust Falls. And y'all, what I am picking up. Listen. Okay. Let me just tell you. First off, here's the thing. Let me slow this down because this card does not come out by accident. Anima Mundi literally means the soul of the world. This is collective consciousness. This is shared feeling. This is intuitive awareness. So the fact that this card came out first tells me something immediately. That this connection is not just personal, it's energetic. This person feels you even when you are not around. They are picking up on you through intuition, memory, and emotion, not logic. And that's exactly why they are struggling. Now, before I go any further, let's go ahead and take a look at your second card, because these two cards together are going to tell the whole story, right? Listen, second card, Stardust Falls and the heart rises. Okay, yeah, this is getting real because this is tied to the third eye chakra, the song of indigo. Translation: the illusion is falling away. The truth is rising to the surface, and the heart can't hide behind the mind anymore. This person knows how they feel. They are just afraid of what happens once they admit it. Now, let's tap into these together, okay? Because this is where it gets interesting. Anima Mundi says, I feel connected to you beyond words. Okay? And I can't unsee what I feel anymore. So what's happening here is that this person didn't plan to like you. This wasn't intentional. This wasn't strategic. It happened. And now they are stuck between their intuition telling them yes and their fear telling them don't act. See, that's why the energy feels intense but quiet. That's why you feel watched but not pursued. That's why it feels unfinished. Okay? And listen, we're only on card 2. We still have 4 more cards to uncover. What they're hiding, what they're afraid of, and what they're actually doing about this, and how this plays out moving forward. And when we get to the total energetic frequency, it's going to tell us whether this connection activates or fades out. So let's keep going. All right, let's go ahead and pull card 3. This next card is, listen, this next card is going to show us what's blocking them emotionally and why they are not saying what they feel yet. So let's see what comes through. All right. Thank you, Spirit. What is the energy as it does relate? What's coming through? All right. Card 3. 4 of Swords comes through. The 4 of Swords, honey, Listen, this is air energy. It does represent the air zodiacs. And when the number 4 shows up in a reading like this, especially with the sword energy, baby girl, let me just say this. Here's the thing. This is air energy all day. Air energy represents thoughts, communication, silence, overthinking, and restraint. And when the number 4 shows up in a reading like this, especially with sword energy, that's not random. That's intentional pause. What this means, real talk. This person is not inactive because they don't care. They're inactive because they're thinking too much. They are replaying conversations. They're mentally exhausted. And they don't trust themselves not to mess this up. The 4 of Swords is the card of holding back, saying nothing on purpose, and choosing silence over risk. Baby girl, this person is mentally stuck on you, but choosing stillness because their mind is louder than their heart right now. Okay? Now, the zodiac energy coming through with this air energy, I'm picking up Libra, weighing every option. Gemini, mind going in circles. Aquarius, detached on the outside, emotional on the inside. They're acting calm, but internally, it's loud AF. Now, why this card matters in this spread? Because the 4 of Swords doesn't show avoidance, it shows delay. This person is in a mental recovery phase. They don't want to speak until they know what they feel. They know what they want, and they know how to say it without exposing themselves. And that ties directly back to the first 2 cards. Okay? It ties it directly back to the first 2 cards, connecting it back to Anima Mundi and Stardust Falls. Okay? Anima Mundi, they feel you intuitively. Stardust Falls, the illusion is breaking. 4 of Swords, they're sitting with the truth quietly. So what's happening is they can't unfeel you. They can't unknow what's there, but they're not ready to act yet. That's not disinterest. That's processing. And listen, this is only card 3, and we still have 3 more cards to go. One is going to show us what finally pushes them. One is going to reveal what they're afraid you'll see. And one is going to tell us how this plays out emotionally. And once we hit that total energetic frequency, you are going to know if this pause turns into movement or if this is where the energy caps out. Let's keep going. And let's see what is coming through. What is the energy as it does relate? What is coming through? You have the 8th house. I'm going to tell you all about the 8th house. There are 12 houses in an astrological birth chart. Each house represents themes, right? But I'm going to tell you what the 8th house represents as it relates to them and the title of this reading, what they like about you, but they are so afraid to show it. Okay? So let's break this down. Okay. Listen, this one is not light because what the 8th house represents, the 8th house rules intimacy, vulnerability, emotional exposure, secrets, psychological depth, soul ties, power dynamics, fear of losing control. This is the house of, if I show you this, you'll see all of me. So when the eighth house shows up in a reading titled, They Secretly Like You, but Can't Bring Themselves to Show It, this tells me everything. How this relates to them. This person isn't afraid of liking you. They're afraid of what happens after they admit it. Because with you, it's not surface level. It's not casual. It's not something they can halfway do. You trigger emotional depth, attachment, transformation, change. You trigger that. And the eighth house says, once I go there, I can't go back. That's the fear. Okay? That is the fear. What they like about you but won't say. They like your depth, your emotional intelligence, the way you see through people, the way you make them feel exposed without trying. You don't force vulnerability. Your presence invites it. And that's intimidating to someone who's used to staying guarded. Why they are holding back. This is Scorpio energy. This is eighth house energy. They're thinking, if I open up, will I lose control? If I tell the truth, will I be changed? If I let them in, will I be seen? And the answer is yes. That's why they're pausing. That's why they're silent. And that's why they're watching instead of acting. Now, connecting this to the previous cards, let's connect the dots. Anima Mundi is a soul level connection. Stardust falls, illusion breaking, truth rising. Four of Swords, intentional silence. Eighth house, fear of emotional exposure. See, this person is standing at the edge of something real. And they're deciding, do I stay safe or do I go deep? And listen, this is where it starts getting even more interesting, because we still have two more cards to pull before the total energetic frequency. One card is going to tell us what finally pushes them to move. And the last card is going to tell us whether this connection transforms or if it stays unspoken. So let's keep going. All right, let's go ahead and pull the next card. This card is going to show us what they're most afraid you'll see if they open up. So let's see what's coming through. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. All right, you got crop circles, messages, curiosity, signs. Okay. Let me just say this because, wow. Yeah, this is big. What this card is saying, listen closely. Crop circles are not accidental. This card represents subtle communication, unspoken messages, curiosity that won't go away, and signs showing up without explanation. This is the energy of, I can't stop thinking about you. Why do I keep seeing reminders of them? And why does this feel unfinished? This person is receiving signals internally and externally, and they don't know what to do with them. How this connects to the title. Remember the title of this reading, right? And give me 1 second. Let me adjust your cards. 1 second. All right. Remember the title of this reading. They secretly like you, but can't bring themselves to show it. Well, this card confirms it. They don't just like you, they're curious about the connection itself. They're noticing your name popping up. They're noticing songs reminding them of you. Random thoughts about you out of nowhere. And moments where you just crossed their mind. And they're sitting there like, why is this still here? Why they are not reaching out. Important. Crop circles show observation without action. They're studying the signs instead of responding to them. This person wants reassurance before movement, confirmation before vulnerability. But the universe is nudging them like, you already know. That's what makes them uncomfortable. Now, connecting it back to the 8th house. Okay, listen. The 8th house equals deep emotional exposure. Crop circles equals signs you can't explain away. So what's happening here is this, is that they feel pulled towards you. They don't understand why. And that loss of control scares them because you represent something that changes them, not just attracts them. Okay? So, and listen, this card tells me something important. The curiosity is building. And when curiosity builds long enough, it turns into action or avoidance. That's exactly what the next card is going to tell us. All right, let's go ahead and pull the next card because this card is going to show us whether the curiosity turns into communication or stays silent. Let's see what comes through. All right. Thank you, Spirit. All right. What is the energy as it does relate? You got 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. Listen, this is not casual energy. When the 7 of Wands energy shows up as card number 6, it says a lot. This is fire energy representing the fire zodiacs. This is boundaries. They know you have taken your power back and you are not to be played with. But guess what? That's something they like about you. This is not casual energy. This says everything. This is fire energy. Like I said, and fire represents the fire zodiacs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, passion, instinct, action, ego, courage. And the number 7. 7 is about internal conflict, testing your strength, standing your ground, and defending what matters. So when 7 of Wands energy shows up here in this position, this person is fighting themselves. Now, what the 7 of Wands is really saying is that this person feels like they are holding back emotions, defending their heart, and trying not to fall too deep. But at the same time, they feel challenged by you. Not threatened, activated. You wake something up in them that they've kept guarded. And the 7 of Wands says, I care, but I don't know how to lower my defenses yet. Why this is important as card 6? Let me be clear. Card 6 is right before the total energetic frequency. So this isn't surface reaction. This is what happens after the curiosity, the silence, the internal processing, the fear of exposure. So by the time we get here, the energy is saying they are no longer confused. They're no longer unaware. They're just deciding whether to stand up for the connection or protect themselves. Connecting all the cards together. Let's connect the dots. Anima Mundi is a soul level connection. Stardust falls, illusion breaking. Four of Swords, intentional pause. Eighth house, fear of vulnerability. Crop circles, signs, curiosity, messages. Seven of Wands, inner resistance plus desire. See, this person is emotionally activated, not indifferent. They are defending themselves because they feel something real. What this means for you, this isn't someone who doesn't care, forgot about you, moved on easily. This is someone who feels challenged by how deeply they feel, and that scares them. You're not a casual crush. You are a turning point. Now listen, this is where everything ties together, because the Seven of Wands can go one of two ways. They keep defending their heart, or they finally stand up for what they feel. And that's exactly what the total energetic frequency is going to tell us. So let's go ahead and talk about that energy now. Let's go. Let's tap into it. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Now, this is the total energetic frequency. This is what I'm picking up. All right. And I'm going to be very clear with you. This energy is intense, conscious, and unavoidable, but it's also self-controlled. This is not someone who doesn't care. This is not someone who's confused. This is not someone who's unaware. This is someone who feels deeply, thinks constantly, and remains themselves deliberately. What this energy is saying as a whole, when I put all the cards together, the message is this. This connection changes them. It changes them, and they know it. And that's exactly why they're cautious. They are standing at the edge of something real. And the total energetic frequency says, this is not casual. This is not random. This is not forgettable. Will this connection continue or fade? Here's the truth. This energy does not fade quickly. Even if they don't speak right away, they stay quiet longer than you expect. They hold their ground emotionally. The energetic cord stays active. The deciding factor isn't whether they feel it, it's whether they choose courage over control. What this means for you, important. You were never meant to convince them. You were never meant to chase clarity. You were never meant to lower yourself to be chosen. See, your role in this connection is simple. Be exactly who you are, because your authenticity is what activates them, and your boundaries are what make this real. Now, the final message here from this energy. This person doesn't forget you. They don't move on easily, and they don't feel this way often. You didn't imagine it. You didn't make it up, and you weren't wrong. And clarity, family, if you want me to go deeper into this person specifically, their timing, their next move, or how this plays out for you, or if you want me to tap into other energies, a new relationship, your career, your finances, or if you just need grounded life coaching. I still have my 3 for $33 personal readings available for a limited time. There are things that I can't fully say here, but I can say them in a personal. And the link is in the description. Thank you for trusting me with your energy. Thank you for being here. And remember, what's meant to be felt can't be unfelt. I'll see you in the next reading. Clarity Family. Hi, Clarity Family. Welcome to your reading. Pile 2. Welcome, welcome. This reading is entitled, They Secretly Like You, but Refuse to Say It. All right. Yeah, this one right here. This person likes you a lot, but they are choosing silence on purpose. And listen, I'm going to tell you exactly who this person is, what they like about you, and why they keep holding back like this. And by the time we're done, you're not going to be guessing. You're going to know. But real quick, before we dive in, a lot of y'all asked me to keep my 3 for $33 readings open, and I said yes. So for a limited time, you could ask me any 3 questions for just $33 about this person, a new connection, your career, your finances, or if you just need grounded life coaching, I'm here for you. There are things I can't fully say on YouTube, but I can say them in a personal reading. The link is in the description. All right, let's get into it. Pile 2. You were drawn here to the yellow glass crystal with the Go With The Flow card. And listen, this energy tells me something immediately. This person likes how easy you are, not weak, easy, confident, easy, okay? You don't force, you don't chase, you don't pressure. And that's exactly what messes with them, all right? Now, listen closely. You have 6 cards coming up in this pile. Each one is going to uncover what they're hiding, what they're refusing to speak, and what they actually feel, and what they are doing instead of communicating. And when we get to the total energetic frequency, that's where we find out whether this connection moves forward or stays stuck right where it is. So let's do it. All right, let's go ahead and pull card 1. This card is going to tell us what they secretly like about you, right? So let's do it. Thank you, Spirit. What is the energy as it does relate? What's coming through? Card 1. You got the kiss. All right. Let's go ahead and pull card 2, and then we'll channel both energies together. Card 2 is change of perspective, and the card says miracle. Okay, so let's go ahead and tap into the energy of the kiss, and then we'll move over here to change of perspective. All right, y'all. So listen, this card does not play games. The kiss is about desire, chemistry, unspoken attraction, tension you can feel but haven't acted on. This is the energy of, I want you, but I'm not saying it. If this happens, it changes everything. Pile 2, this person feels physically and emotionally drawn to you. This isn't just admiration. This isn't friendly. There's a moment they keep replaying in their mind. A look, a laugh, a conversation where the energy shifted, and they feel it. That's why it's quiet now. Why the kiss showed up first. Listen closely. When the kiss comes out as card 1, it tells me attraction came before logic. Feelings hit them unexpectedly. This wasn't planned. This is the kind of attraction that sneaks up on someone and makes them rethink their control. And for someone who likes to stay composed, that's unsettling. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at card 2. You got change of perspectives and A Course in Miracles. Yeah, this just shifted. So this card says what you thought this was is not. So this person didn't expect to feel this way about you. They thought they were past this. They thought they were emotionally guarded. They knew what they wanted. And then you showed up. And now they're being forced to rethink their beliefs, challenge their emotional patterns, and see connection differently. So that's why they pulled back. And not because the feeling faded, but because it grew. Now, channeling both cards together. Let's put these two together. The kiss says, I want you. Change of perspective says, this is changing me. So what happens here is that they're realizing that this isn't casual attraction. This connection asks them to show up differently. And that scares them because it requires vulnerability. You didn't just catch their attention. You disrupted their emotional blueprint. And listen, we're only on card 2. We still have 4 more cards to go. One will show us what they're resisting. One will reveal what they're afraid you'll see. And one will tell us what they're doing instead of acting. And one will show us how this energy wants to move. And then we're going to tie it all together with the total energetic frequency. So let's keep going. All right, let's go ahead and pull card 3. And this next card is going to show us what's blocking them emotionally right now. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate and what's coming through? Card 3, you got 4 of Cups. Somebody is in their feelings over you. All right. That's the T. So listen. They're not handling it well. What the 4 of Cups is really saying. The 4 of Cups is emotional withdrawal, quiet disappointment, sitting with feelings instead of expressing them, and pretending not to care while caring deeply. See, this person is emotionally affected. Okay, they are, but they're internalizing it. They are thinking, why am I feeling this way? Why do they have this effect on me? And why can't I just shake this? And instead of talking about it, they sit in it. Why this is important in this spread. This card tells me they miss you, even if they won't say it. They feel overlooked, even if you didn't do anything wrong. And they are emotionally distracted even when they act fine. This isn't indifference. This is emotional suppression. Now, connecting this back to the first 2 cards. Let's connect the dots. The kiss, attraction and desire. Change of perspective, emotional awakening. 4 of Cups, sitting with feelings instead of acting. So what's happening? They felt it. It changed them. And now they're quietly processing it alone. That's why the energy feels distant but heavy. What they're not saying but feeling. This person is thinking, I don't want to admit how much this affects me. They don't want to look vulnerable. They don't want to feel exposed. They don't want to admit that you got under their skin. But you did. And listen, this is only card 3. We still have 3 more cards to go. One is going to show us what they're resisting. One will reveal what finally pushes them, and one will tell us whether this energy is actually heading, where this energy is actually heading. And then we're going to tie everything together with the total energetic frequency. So let's keep going. All right, let's go ahead and pull card 4. This next card is going to show us. It is going to show us what they're doing instead of communicating how they feel. So let's see what's coming through. Card 4. What is the energy as it does relate? You got the Arcturians. It's spelled Arcturians. Feeling safe, wisdom keepers, and concern. You make this person feel safe. But I'm picking up sometimes they don't make you feel safe. They know you have a whole lot of wisdom too. And you were just born with a high sense of intuitive, guidance and energy. Let me slow this down because this card is layered. Arcturians represent feeling safe, wisdom keepers, higher awareness, emotional intelligence, guidance energy. So right away, the message is clear. You make this person feel safe, emotionally safe, energetically safe, like they can exhale around you. And that's not something they feel often. But here's the part that matters. I'm also picking up something else. And we're going to be honest here. See, sometimes they don't make you feel safe. And they know that. They know they go quiet. They withhold. They pull back emotionally. And they know that that creates uncertainty for you. That's part of their internal conflict. Why this card shows up here? Because this person sees you as a wisdom holder. You're intuitive. You're emotionally mature. You see patterns. You don't get lost in illusion. And that's why they feel if I open up to them, they'll see everything. You don't just listen, you understand. The concern piece here is this. Important, very important. This card also carries the energy of concern. They worry about disappointing you, not showing up correctly, being emotionally inconsistent, and not being able to match your depth. So instead of stepping up, they hesitate, they retreat, and they choose silence over risking the connection. Connecting this to previous cards, well, let's go ahead and connect it all. The kiss, attraction and desire, change of perspective, emotional awakening, 4 of Cups, sitting in feelings, Arcturians, safety, wisdom, concern. This person doesn't feel confused. They feel unworthy of mishandling something sacred, and that's heavy for them. And listen, this is where it gets even more interesting because we only have 2 cards left before the total energetic frequency. One card is going to tell us what finally breaks this pattern. And the last card will tell us whether this connection stabilizes or stays emotionally uneven. So let's keep going. All right, let's go ahead and pull card 5. Okay, because this next card is going to show us what they're most afraid of losing if they speak up. So let's see what's coming through. What is the energy as it does relate? What's coming through? All right, you got the 10 of Cups. Wow. Listen, this is where it gets real. So let me pause here because this card is loud, even if it looks gentle. Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment. This is happiness. This is, I see a future. This is emotional alignment, not fantasy. And the fact that this card comes out here, this is not surface feelings. What the Ten of Cups is really saying is that this person doesn't just like you, they see emotional peace with you, a version of happiness they don't usually access, and what life could look like if they stopped guarding their heart. The Ten of Cups is the card of this feels like home. And that's exactly why they're shaken. Why this scares them. Important. You don't just make them feel attracted. You make them feel settled. And for someone who's used to emotional chaos, inconsistency, instability, peace feels unfamiliar. So they are thinking, what if this is real? What if I mess this up? What if I'm not ready for this level of happiness? So instead of running towards it, they hesitate. They hesitate. Connecting this to the Arcturians. Arcturians, safety, wisdom, concern. Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment. This person sees you as emotionally mature, safe, aligned, capable of real happiness. And that makes them feel hopeful, scared, vulnerable, exposed, all at once. So what they're afraid of losing, this card answers that clearly. They are afraid of losing the chance at real happiness, afraid of losing the emotional safety you offer, and afraid of losing the future they secretly imagine with you. And they know once they speak, there's no going back. Now listen, this is card 5. We have one final card left before the total energetic frequency. And that last card is going to tell us whether this happiness becomes something they fight for or something they keep at a distance. So let's go ahead and pull the final card. All right, let's pull card 6. This card is going to show us how they act when the pressure of real feelings hits. So let's see what's coming through. All right. What is the energy as it does relate? What's coming through? You have a quincunx, a complexity. Quincunx. And I'm going to tell you what this means. This is an astrological energy and aspect. So let me tell you what this means first and how it relates to this person's secret feelings about you and why they won't say anything about it. Okay? Here's the thing. All right, listen clearly. What's coming through here is complexity, the quincunx. And this is not random. This is astrological energy. And I need to explain this properly because once you understand this, everything clicks. What a quincunx actually is, real talk. In astrology, a quincunx is an aspect where two energies don't understand each other, don't speak the same language. They don't naturally integrate. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. It requires adjustment. A quincunx says something feels important, but I I don't know how to act on it. So when this card comes out, this person's feelings for you don't fit into their current emotional framework. How this relates to their secret feelings. This person likes you deeply, but here's the problem. Their feelings don't match their timing. Their desire doesn't match their emotional readiness. Their heart doesn't align with their coping mechanisms. So instead of acting, they stall. They feel something real, but they don't know how to adjust their life habits or emotional defenses to accommodate it. Why they won't say anything? This is the key. The King Cups energy says, if I speak, I'll have to change something. And they are not ready to do that yet. Speaking the truth would mean acknowledging vulnerability, disrupting their emotional routine, and risking imbalance. So they choose silence, not because they don't care, but because they don't know how to rearrange themselves around what they feel. Connecting all 6 cards together. The kiss, attraction and desire. Change of perspective, emotional awakening. 4 of Cups, sitting in feelings. Arcturians, safety, wisdom, concern. 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. And in King Cups, misalignment, requiring adjustment. This person isn't confused about you. They're confused about how to handle something that feels bigger than their current emotional capacity. What this means for you, this isn't a rejection energy. This isn't indifference. And this isn't a lack of feeling. This is someone standing in front of something meaningful and thinking, I don't know how to do this without changing. And change scares them. Now listen, this King Cups energy tells us why. But the total energetic frequency is going to tell us whether they eventually make that adjustment or whether this stays an unspoken truth. So let's talk about that energy now. Thank you, Spirit. All right, so here's what I'm picking up. Pile 2. Let's talk about this. And I'm just going to say it straight. This is real feelings in the wrong timing. That's the energy. Not fake, not imagined, not one-sided, just misaligned. What the energy is saying as a whole, when I put all the cards together, here's the story. This person feels strong attraction, had an emotional awakening, sat in their feelings quietly, feels safe and seen by you. They see real emotional happiness with you, but don't know how to adjust their life to make room. So the total energetic frequency says, I want this, but I don't know how to move forward without changing myself. And that internal conflict keeps them silent. Will this connection move forward or stay stuck? Here's the honest answer. This energy does not fade quickly, but it doesn't move easily either. It lingers. It simmers. It stays present in their emotional space. Movement only happens if they choose growth over comfort. If they don't, the feeling stays unspoken, but it doesn't disappear. What this means for you, this is important. You didn't confuse them. You didn't overwhelm them, and you didn't do too much. You show them a level of emotional alignment they weren't prepared for. And that's not your burden to carry. Your role here is to wait. Your role here is not to wait, convince, or adjust yourself. Your role is to stay in your flow because that's what activated this connection in the first place. Now, the final message from the energy here. Pile 2. This person doesn't forget you. They don't replace you easily. And they don't feel this way often. Okay. You showed them what emotional safetyness and happiness feels like, whether they rise to meet it or stay where they are. That part is on them. And clarity family. If you want me to go deeper into timing, their next move, or what you should do next in this connection, or if you want to get energy on another relationship, your career, your finances, or if you just need grounded life coaching, I'm here for you. I still have my 3 for $33 personal readings open for a limited time. There are things I can't fully say here, but I can say them interpersonal. And the link is in the description. Pile 2, thank you for trusting me with your energy. And remember this, some connections don't come to teach us how to wait, right? They come to show us what we deserve. I'll see you in the next reading, Clarity Family. Hi, Clarity Family. Welcome to your reading. Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You found this for a reason. And yeah, we're about to find out why this person secretly likes you, but cannot bring themselves to say it. Not won't, cannot. And listen, I'm going to tell you who this person is energetically, why they keep fighting themselves, and what obstacles they're dealing with, and what this connection is actually activating in them. And by the time we're done, you're going to see this situation clearly. No illusions. But real quick, because y'all keep asking, I still have my 3 for $33 readings open for a limited time. You can ask me any 3 questions about this person, a new relationship, your finances, your career, or if you just need real grounded life coaching, I'm here for you. There are things I can't fully say here on YouTube, but I can say them interpersonal. The link is in the description. All right? Now, pile 3. You were drawn to the tangerine glass crystal and the card overcome obstacles. And listen, that alone tells me something important. This connection is not easy. No, it is not. It's not smooth, it's not simple, and it was never meant to be. And this person doesn't struggle because they don't feel anything. They struggle because they do. Now listen close. You have 6 cards coming up in this pile. Each one is going to show us the obstacle they're facing, the internal battle they're fighting, and what they keep stopping them and why they keep stopping themselves. What they want but won't admit, and what this connection forces them to confront. And once we hit the total energetic frequency, we're going to see whether this obstacle gets overcome or whether this stays a lesson instead of a relationship. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and pull card 1. This card is going to tell us what they feel but keep buried. Pile 3. Let's do it. What is the energy as it does relate? Card 1. You got the Hunter. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull card 2. And then we will channel both energies together. Starting with card 1. Card 2 is... This card says, the beauty of the rose is endlessly yet to be seen. Okay, let's go ahead and tap into the energy of card 1, the Hunter, and then we'll come back and tap into the energy of the Beauty of the Rose. Okay, now this card tells me everything about how this person moves with you. The Hunter energy is pursuit, focus, fixation, and wanting something badly, but staying strategic. This person does not casually like you. They are watching, they are calculating, and they're thinking 3 steps ahead. But here's the thing, the Hunter doesn't strike until they're sure. And with you, they don't feel sure. Not because you're unclear, but because you're powerful. You don't give easy access. You don't chase back. You don't reveal everything. That makes them want you more and hesitate harder. What the Hunter really means here, this person sees you as valuable, rare, and worth the effort, but also intimidating, unpredictable, not easily controlled. So instead of rushing in, they observe, they plan, they wait. Now, let's look at card 2. You've got the Beauty of the Rose is endlessly yet to be seen. Yeah, this just softened everything, but made it deeper. This card is about depth over surface, layers that reveal over time, beauty that unfolds slowly, and something precious that isn't rushed. This person knows there's more to you than meets the eye. They don't see you as a quick moment, a fling, a passing interest. They see you as someone whose value increases with time, and that scares them. Now let's put these two together. The Hunter plus the Beauty of the Rose says this: they want you, but they respect you too much to rush. They're drawn to you, but they're afraid of mishandling you. And they feel desire, but also reverence. See, this person isn't running because they don't care. They're slowing down because if I go too fast, I might ruin something rare. How this connects to the title, remember the title. They secretly like you, but they can't bring themselves to show it. This explains why. They don't want to chase and fail, speak too soon, expose themselves without knowing what this really is. So they hold back, not from lack of interest, but from fear of mishandling something meaningful. And listen, we're only on card 2. Now we still have 4 more cards to go. One will show us what stops them from acting. One will reveal their biggest internal conflict. And one will tell us what they're afraid of losing. And one will show us where this energy is heading. And then we'll go straight into the total energetic frequency. So let's keep going. All right, let's go ahead and pull card 3. This next card is going to show us the obstacle that they're dealing with internally that keeps them from making a move. Let's go. All right. Card here. 1 second. This is card 3. What is the energy as it does relate? Card 3. You got the Lovers. Okay. Let's pause because this card does not play small. The Lovers and what this really means. This is not just attraction. This is not just chemistry. This is choice. The Lovers represents emotional alignment, deep connection, soul level attraction, and most importantly, a decision. This person doesn't just like you. They feel a pull towards you that forces them to ask, do I stay safe or do I choose love? And that question, that's what's stopping them. Why the Lover shows up as card 3. Well, this tells me this connection matters to them. This isn't a game. This isn't casual. They know if they choose you, they can't halfway do it. If they open their heart, things will change. If they speak their truth, they'll have to stand on it. And that's heavy. Connecting this card to the first 2 cards, let's connect the dots. Okay, the Hunter is desire, focus, and restraint. The Beauty of the Rose, respect, depth, patience. The Lovers, emotional choice. So what's happening? They want you, they see your value, and now they're standing at a crossroads. This isn't about if they feel something. It's about whether they're brave enough to choose it. Now, why haven't they said anything yet? Because the Lover says, once I choose, I can't pretend this doesn't matter. And pretending has been their comfort zone. You don't fit into that. And listen, this is only card 3. We got 3 more cards to go. One is going to show us what they're afraid to lose. One will reveal the internal obstacle that they keep hitting. And one will tell us how this choice actually plays out. And then we'll go straight into the total energetic frequency. So let's keep going. All right, let's go ahead and pull card 4. This next card is going to show us what's standing in the way of them choosing this connection fully. So let's see what's coming through. All right. What is the energy as it does relate? Card 4. You got Lyrans, Lyrans, strength, courage, bravery. All right. Listen. What this really means. Lyran energy is about, like I just mentioned, it's courage, bravery, and standing in your truth. Leading with the heart instead of hiding behind fear. So when this card shows up, it tells me something loud. That this person knows what they need to do. They know what they feel and they know the truth. What they're struggling with is having the courage to act on it. How this connects to the Lovers. Let's connect this because the Lovers equals choice. Lyrans equal bravery to choose. So this person is standing at a fork in the road. And the universe is basically asking them, are you going to stay comfortable or are you going to be brave? And right now, they're hesitating. Why this is hard for them? Because this person isn't afraid. This person isn't afraid of rejection. They're afraid of being seen, being vulnerable, admitting they care, and risking their pride. They don't struggle with attraction. They struggle with emotional exposure. Because courage here doesn't look like confidence. It looks like I'm scared and I'm doing it anyway. And that's not their comfort zone. Now, connecting this back to the previous cards, let's line it up. The Hunter, desire and restraint. The Beauty of the Rose, respect, depth. The Lovers, emotional choice. Lyrans, courage required. This connection isn't blocked by lack of feeling. It's blocked by fear of stepping into something that matters. And listen, this is card 4. So we still have 2 more cards to go before the total energetic frequency. One card is going to show us what happens if they don't choose courage. And the final card will tell us whether this bravery eventually shows up or stays theoretical. So let's keep going. All right, let's go ahead and pull card 5. The next card is going to show us what they're risking if they finally step forward. Now let's see what comes through. What is the energy as it does relate? You got North Node. I'm going to explain to you what North Node means in astrology in your astrological birth chart. And then I'm going to tell you how it relates to the question of this reading. All right. Listen. This is not just a feeling card. This is a life direction card. Okay? And I need to explain this properly. So what the North Node means in astrology is this. In astrology, the North Node represents your soul's growth path, where you're meant to evolve, uncomfortable lessons that lead to expansion, and the direction life keeps pushing you towards. The North Node is not easy. It's not familiar. It's not comfortable. It says this is where you grow, whether you like it or not. Now, how this relates to this person's secret feelings. This person doesn't just like you. You activate their growth. You represent emotional evolution, breaking old patterns, choosing something healthier, and stepping out of comfort zones. And that's why they're shaken. Because liking you isn't just liking someone. It means becoming more honest, becoming more vulnerable, and becoming more accountable. And that's scary for someone who's used to staying guarded. Now, why they are struggling so hard? Here's the truth. This person feels that being with you would change how they relate to love. It would force them to confront their fears and require emotional maturity. And the North Node says, you can't stay the same and choose this. So instead of leaning in, they hesitate. They stall. They stand at the edge of growth. Let's go ahead and connect the whole story so far. The hunter, desire with restraint. The beauty of the rose, depth and respect. The lovers, a meaningful choice. Lyrans, courage required. North Node, growth path activated. This connection is not random. It's an ignition. You didn't come into their life to be temporary. You came in to wake something up. And listen, this is card 5. We have one final card left before we go straight into the total energetic frequency. And that last card is going to tell us whether they actually step into this growth or if they turn away from it. So let's pull the final card. All right, let's go ahead and pull card 6. And this final card is going to show us how they respond when destiny calls. So let's see what's coming through. Card 6. All right. You have Queen of Wand. Queen of Wand energy is fire, Wand energy does rule over the fire zodiacs in tarot. And here's what I'm picking up. Baby, listen to me. Like I said, this is fire energy. This is confidence. This is magnetism. This is knowing your worth and not shrinking. And the fact that this is the final card, yeah, that says everything. Queen of Wands, what this really means. The Queen of Wands represents boldness, attraction, self-assurance, presence, someone who doesn't have to chase. This person sees you as powerful, desirable, confident, and hard to ignore. You don't beg for attention, you command it. And that both attracts them and intimidates them. Why this stops them from speaking? Here's the truth. They don't feel like they can approach you casually. They feel like if I step to them, I better be ready. Because the Queen of Wands doesn't tolerate half effort. She doesn't wait. She doesn't dim herself. And they know it. So instead of being exposed, they hesitate. Now, connecting all 6 cards, this is important. Let's tie pile 3 all the way together. The Hunter, desire with restraint. The Beauty of the Rose, depth and respect. The Lovers, a real choice. Lyrans, courage is required. North Node, growth path activated. Queen of Wands, your power plus magnetism. This connection didn't stall because there's no feeling. It stalled because you activate their growth. You demand courage and you don't chase. You are not an option. You are a turning point. All right, let's talk about the total energetic frequency. And I'm going to say this clearly. This connection isn't here to test courage. If they rise, this becomes powerful. If they don't, they walk away knowing they met someone they couldn't step up to. Either way, you don't lose, because the Queen of Wands doesn't beg someone to grow. She keeps moving. Then pile 3, you were never meant to lower yourself. You were never meant to wait. You were never meant to convince someone to be brave. Your energy alone already told them the truth. Now, what they do with it, that's on them. And clarity, family, if you want clarity on whether this person actually steps up, how long this resistance lasts, or what your next aligned move is, whether it be with this person, a new love, or your career, your finances, or if you just need personal, grounded life coaching, I still have my 3 for $33 personal readings open for a limited time. There are things that I can fully say here that I can't fully say here, but I can say them in a personal. And that link is in the description. Pile 3, some people don't lose you because they didn't want you. They lose you because they couldn't rise to meet you. And that's not your burden. I'll see you in the next reading. Clarity, family.